Okay, take 4. My name is Calico. This is going to be a journal into my madness. I was recently in a psychiatric hospital for about a month and 2 weeks because my ex and I called off our wedding 4 weeks before it was about to happen. And it was just kind of the last thing that I could handle on top of a bunch of other stuff that's always seemed to go wrong in my life. My mother and father both committed suicide, and while I wasn't close with my father, maybe met him twice, it turns out it's something that the doctors have to monitor me for now, because it's something I considered doing, was very close to doing, when my ex told me that we weren't getting married anymore. The reason we're not getting married is because she says she can't trust me, because I was drinking too much, apparently in order to cope, according to the doctors, and also because I was smoking in the house and lying about it. To be honest, I was smoking outside a majority of the time, but I would still get in trouble for that. So it got to the point where I didn't see what the point was. And that was a stupid thing to do, and it certainly wasn't worth losing my fiancé over. At the hospital, a lot came out, and it isn't just anxiety like I always thought it was. In my life, I've been emotionally, physically, sexually abused. I had my life threatened, and yeah, my diagnoses in the hospital are the following: generalized anxiety disorder, which, as I said before, I already had; post-traumatic stress disorder; compulsive personality disorder with avoidant dependent traits; dissociative amnesia; dissociative fugue; clinical depression; and schizoid personality disorder. I'm really struggling because I feel stigmatized now by my own family and my friends. Not that it's ever been terribly important to me. I've always valued being alone. I've always kind of been a loner. But apparently journaling is supposed to be cathartic for me and get me out of my little fantasy land that I spend so much time in. I don't really know what to say beyond that. It sucks, and I wish I could fix things, but she has made it clear that she wants nothing to do with me anymore. I feel like people are tiptoeing around me now when I seem to be doing well, and when I'm not doing well, they seem shocked at my behavior, and I feel like they value what other people are saying before what I'm saying. And when I react in a way to try and explain how I'm feeling, or try to, I seem to have people angry with me. And I'm being told to be honest and tell people how I really feel and what's going on, but when I do, I end up in trouble. Since the breakup and the hospitalization, I've managed to find an apartment, because My ex wants to keep the house. And I don't really think that's fair entirely. But I guess she was paying for a majority of it. And maybe living alone will be good for me. Maybe it will help me to be less dependent on others, which I didn't really realize was something I was doing. Some of the things that do bother me, since I've had so much time to think, since becoming disabled apparently, is that I really did ask for help before this happened, when we were still living in our apartment. I had said that I'm thinking about suicide and that I feel like I'm going insane and that I'm really struggling. And she said that, and I don't know why I'm crying even now, because I feel so empty. But she said, what, do you want me to stay home? And people keep telling me that part of the reason that I'm taking things so negatively is because I can't understand other people's emotions. And that due to my childhood, I didn't learn how to understand people's emotions properly. Which I think is fair. Another occasion, after we had had a discussion about alcoholism, I was looking up Alcoholics Anonymous stuff. This is prior to the hospital. And she said, what are you looking at that for? And I was really trying to address something that I thought was an issue. And to be fair, I often thought she was angry with me. And maybe that wasn't the case. But what does hurt is that she's said to people that I never cooked or cleaned. But I always made sure that she came home to a hot supper. And I always cleaned the house while she was at work. And I'd had jobs too. I had been out of work for a while, but I managed to find something. And I was contributing again. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. So as I said, I'm going to go into more detail about my life and my experiences with mental illness, my personal experiences, perhaps help some other people, and you know, the future isn't all bright for me. Many of these things are never going to go away, and life is going to be more of a struggle than I ever thought it would be, especially in the coming months. But I'm going to try my hardest, and I've made some friends when I was at the hospital that mean the world to me, and they've been helping me as well. More than the doctors or nurses, although I do thank them for all of their help. One of them told me that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And I tell myself that every day. And while it's difficult for me to be hopeful, I am trying. And I think that is the most important thing right now that I want all of you to know, is that I'm trying. And anyone who is feeling like this, or suicidal, or struggling and thinks that something may not be right with them, I urge you to contact a crisis line, or speak to your family doctor, or go to a mental outreach program. Many of them are free. And don't give up hope. Because even though my hope is waning, I'm still trying. And that's all I can do right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or maybe later tonight, I'm not sure. God bless.